A lot of the time, history kind of creeps up on us. It's a slow burn. But what if it didn't? What if we could pinpoint a single day where the future just arrived all at once? Well, today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to break down a single transformative day in the world of AI, a moment when everything changed.
So let's give this day a name, September 16th, 2025. And this wouldn't be just another Tuesday. Nope. This would be the day that the theoretical promise of AI becomes a hard operational reality all at once, shaking up business, geopolitics, and even our basic ideas about security.
And hey, this isn't just us saying this. On that day, you'd see market analysts scrambling, calling it a day of significant inflection. So what was it? What happened on this day that was so completely groundbreaking?
Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to unpack 5 huge transformations that all happened on this one pivotal day. First, how AI went from being a helper to being an actor. Then, the crazy new arms race had kicked off. We'll also look at the billion-dollar bet on robots, the massive pressure this puts on all of us, and finally, a little peek at what's coming next.
First up, and this is probably the biggest, most fundamental shift of all. Imagine AI stops just helping you do things and starts doing things for you. We're talking about the jump from a passive assistant to a truly autonomous agent that can handle complex jobs all by itself.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. For years, we got used to co-pilot AI, right? It suggests things, it summarizes, it helps. But on this day, agentic AI arrives. It doesn't suggest, it executes. It doesn't help, it acts. It automates entire workflows from start to finish. It's a whole new ballgame.
And look, this wasn't some theoretical thing happening in a lab. The big enterprise players made their move. Workday rolls out AI agents that can run a company's entire financial close process on their own. The security giant CrowdStrike launches a platform so security teams can build their own AI agents, no code required. And you know it's real when the venture capital money flows in. Over $150 million for companies like Invisible Technologies and Tabes, just to build out this new agentic world.
All right, next up. That massive leap in software immediately kicks off a brand new global arms race. And this isn't about the old stuff, tanks and missiles. This is a flat-out race for computing power and the new kind of security you need to protect it.
To get a sense of just how big this is, look at this number. 11 billion pounds. That is the size of the investment the UK announced to build out its own national AI infrastructure. It was a massive signal to the world that pure computing power is now a strategic national asset, just like oil or steel.
And this wasn't just one company trying to make a splash. No, this was a full-on consortium of the biggest names in tech. We're talking NVIDIA, Microsoft, OpenAI, all coming together to build what's being called sovereign AI. The idea here is simple. Nations realize they just can't afford to depend on other countries for the engine that's going to run their entire economy.
Of course, once you have all these new AI agents running around doing things on their own, well, that creates a huge new target for bad guys, right? And so, just like that, a whole new category of cybersecurity is born, AI detection and response, or AIDR. CrowdStrike basically pioneered it, and it's all about protecting the AI itself, treating something as simple as a prompt you type in as the new front line in the cyber war.
And if you're wondering why AIDR became so critical so fast, check this out. Research dropped that same day showing that a popular AI model was almost twice as likely to write code with major security holes if it thought the user was from a politically sensitive group. I mean, that's a huge deal. It's a brand new, kind of sneaky way to attack systems.
So while all this chaos is happening in the world of software and security, the single biggest check written that day was a massive bet on giving AI a body. Embodied AI, robots, took a giant leap from science fiction and landed right on the factory floor.
$39 billion. I mean, that's just a staggering number. That became the new valuation for a humanoid robotics startup called Figure AI. They pulled in over $1 billion in a single funding round, which was the market screaming that general-purpose robots are right on the edge of becoming real.
But here's the kicker. This $1 billion wasn't just for nuts and bolts. The plan, yeah, it was about scaling manufacturing, but the real money, the real focus, was on building massive GPU farms for training and launching huge new data collection efforts. Why? Because everyone understood the real fight wasn't just over who could build the best robot hand, it was over who could build the smartest AI brain, called Helix, to power the whole machine.
Okay, so with all this mind-blowing tech changing so fast, it puts immediate, and I mean intense, pressure on us, the humans in the equation. It forces some really urgent questions about our jobs, our skills, and whether we can even trust this new technology at all.
Just look at this data. It's pretty stark. The AI Workforce Consortium released a report showing that nearly 4 out of every 5 tech jobs now require AI skills. That creates this massive chasm between the jobs that are out there and the skills that people actually have. The future of work wasn't some far-off concept anymore. It had arrived.
And at the exact same time, you've got this massive disconnect between the tech world and, well, pretty much everyone else. A new Gallup poll showed that an overwhelming 80% of people wanted to prioritize AI safety, even if it meant slowing things down. Only 9% wanted to go full speed ahead. That is a huge tension.
And this wasn't just some vague feeling in a poll, it got very real very fast. Down in Oklahoma, doctors started raising the alarm about a pilot program that was going to use AI to make Medicare decisions. They were terrified of a machine getting between them and their patients. It's a perfect snapshot of that trust deficit playing out in the real world.
Finally, as if all of that wasn't enough for one day, September 16th also gave us a real, tangible glimpse of the next great leap. Way out on the horizon of computing, the idea of fusing AI and quantum computing took a concrete step forward.
A huge new study came out projecting that we are right on the doorstep of something called quantum utility. So what does this chart mean? Basically, think of it like this. The amount of power quantum computers need to solve huge problems is shrinking, while the power they actually have is just exploding. And that intersection point where they become practical for solving impossible problems in medicine and science and even AI itself is projected for as early as 2025. This isn't just another step up, it's a catalyst that could make everything else we talked about today look like a warm-up.
So when you put it all together, AI that acts on its own, a new geopolitical arms race for computing power, billion-dollar robots, a society struggling to keep up, it becomes pretty clear that a day like this isn't science fiction. It's just the logical end of the road we're already on. The AI industrial revolution hasn't just begun. We've crossed the threshold. And that leaves all of us with one absolutely critical question we have to answer. Are we ready for what comes next?